So again, we're talking about this idea of when conditional statements are true and false. We said this is true, this is false, so the overall conditional statement is false. If the only times that this guy is false is when you have a true statement for your if and a false statement for your then. On the test, they'll give you a conditional statement. So if today is Saturday, then tomorrow is Friday. So then you have to evaluate. Is this a true statement? Today. So is the overall statement true? Whenever the if part is false, the whole conditional statement is called true. That's the rule. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a chart to look at to kind of help with this. P, which is the if part, then, which is the Q part, and then if P, then Q. If P is true and Q is true, then the whole statement is true. The counterexample is the one time we start off with a true, we go to a false. That's the time a conditional statement is false. It's the only time a conditional statement is false, is when I have that counterexample. So it goes back to what I said before. If I am the president of the United States, then I'm buying ice cream for everybody. That is a true statement because I am not the president. So in order to say that I'm wrong, that that statement is false, you need to find an example where I become the president and I don't buy everybody ice cream. Now, politicians do fall into that because the politician may say, if elected, then let's just do what they all have been doing. Jobs. Right? Everyone says they're going to give us jobs. Everybody and their dog says they're going to give us jobs. Well, I can't evaluate that if that statement is true or not until we elect the guy. Once he's elected, this is now true. Then I get to ask myself, is that true or false? If it's false, then the conditional statement, if elected, I will provide jobs, is a false statement. If jobs appear, then the statement is a true statement. If the guy loses the election, the conditional statement overall is true because whenever there's a false hypothesis, whenever the if is false, it doesn't matter what the conclusion was. The overall if then is true. This is one of the harder concepts because it's so arbitrary. But remember, a conditional statement is only false when you can provide a counterexample. I say we all get at least a B. I will bring donuts to class. That's a true statement until the time that I had or will have an entire class that has a B or better and I don't bring donuts. So if you have someone who had me last year and said, no, we all had like A's on the first test. He totally did not get us any donuts. That's the counterexample. But until you can provide that counterexample, you have to believe the conditional statement is true.
Do you promise that?
No, I don't. As soon as you guys all have a B or better, we will now know that conditional statement was false. Sir? Quite possibly. And that's, again, one of the harder things, not the hardest, one of the hard things with logic is humans are logical creatures, but we don't always put rules to them. And in order to have conversations about logic, we need to kind of say, okay, here's the parameters for that conversation. Here's what we call this thing. Here's what we call this thing. Here are the rules that go with it. And so it is a recalibration of the old noggin. You'll vote for me? That's all.